it was only about print media and broadcasting media. That included, print newspaper ads, magazines, billboards, and then, the radio jingles that used to be there.
To launch something, it is all about influencers, social events. All started to talk about Facebook, Instagram, Reels and everything. We generally tend to be more emotional. Along with that, their parents as well. When they're choosing any kind of course and university.
The emotional connect is very important. And since it is the question of their career, and people are actually very serious about what they're going to get into in their lives, provide a top-notch experience, academic experience, learning experience to their students, it should be left to marketing and how to bridge that emotional connect and the gap which is there.
How can universities get the maximum attention from their students?
Today's the generation is, they get bored and distracted very fast. Reels would play an important role. The short videos and shorts would play an important role.
Welcome to another episode of MetaApply's ABC podcast series Abroad and Beyond Campus. I'm your host Mahima, and we are going to talk about marketing services for universities for their international student recruitment. In the last couple of years, like any other sector, marketing has also seen a lot of challenges and a lot of innovations. All these challenges are also faced by universities who want to connect with their target students and audience and want to showcase the number of courses they have, their campus facilities, and everything they want their target audience to know. But how can universities actually connect with their students and tell them exactly what are their services, what are the courses, what are their facilities? They can do this through the marketing strategies, combining traditional strategies and all the new innovations that have come into the industry. So who better to talk about marketing than somebody who carries over 16 years of experience in the industry? I am so happy to introduce Sakshi Jain as our host. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks so much, Mahima. In fact, the pleasure is mine, and it is always, exciting for me to talk about marketing in higher education.
Before we proceed ahead with the podcast, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to stay connected with the latest reels, trends and updates that there are in study abroad industry. So as I mentioned that you have over 16 years of experience, and in so many of our conversations, you've told me about how the journey was completely different in marketing several years back, and you have seen the entire journey. So can you talk to us about what are the changes that you have witnessed so far?
Yeah, definitely, Mahima. I would love to share a few of my experiences because this is what I've been doing all these years. And I think marketing has come a long way. When I started off, it was only about print media and broadcasting media. That included, print newspaper ads, magazines, billboards, and then, the radio jingles that used to be there.
Yeah.
And of course, you cannot forget the, the tickering line going on the TV cable. That used to be very funny, but that used to catch our attention most of the time.
Yeah.
So, but I believe that there has been a great transition from then till now. And since that digital is there and it is the way forward as well, we cannot underestimate the importance of digital medias and platforms.
So when I started my journey, that was only 4 to 5 years ago, I saw there was a boom in social media and we all started to talk about Facebook, Instagram, Reels and everything. And we've seen that earlier, a lot of brands, they used to go for flyers, brochures and billboards like you mentioned. But now whenever they want to launch something, it is all about influencers, social events and connecting and being on all the social media platforms. So how do you suggest that amongst so many strategies and traditional and new methods of marketing, should universities choose the right path for their marketing strategies to connect with their students?
I think, Mahima, that's a very relevant question, and it is very relevant and important in today's realm and world. So what is happening is that there are too many channels and platforms. People do not know what to use. Sometimes, using all of them, we end up, reaching nowhere. So we need to have a very clear strategy and very, have apparent reasons to use a particular media. So you're right that universities used to, rely heavily on brochures, flyers, college fairs. Then word of mouth is the most important thing. And, the relevance of these is still there. But now the market is expanding. The competition is there. There is so much clutter in the market. There is a huge student crowd out there. Anybody can, kind of reach out through the medium that they feel is relevant to. But universities definitely, need to think that realize the strength of each media, which is better for them, to reach a particular set of students.
Whenever we have had a word about marketing, you always tell me that, Mahima, you should definitely know your target audience. And like you're mentioning, that they should know which market they are cracking. So how relevant is target audience and understanding that which sector you're going through? For example, if we see there is a stark difference between Hollywood and Bollywood promotions. If we go with Hollywood, they always go with trailers and they go for Netflix and everything. But with Bollywood, we have song releases, we have item numbers and songs and so on and so forth. So how does a university understand where their target audience is and how to understand what their target audience wants?
Okay, so see, target audience is something that we cannot forget. And I think that's the first thing that comes to every marketer's mind, that who are we reaching out to? Who's going to see our ad? Who's going to read our tagline? So that is very important. They should be in the position to resonate well with the kind of, advertisements that we have, rolled out. For example, if a university has its premium program in an engineering domain, so I think LinkedIn could be the platform that they can use to leverage, and for greater success, they can showcase the research, the case studies to the engineering prospects out there. And if it is an art school, so I think Instagram is a better medium, because it gives you a better platform to leverage the assignments, the projects, visually in a more attractive manner.
The creative style.
Absolutely. So each platform is different, and each platform has its own strengths. So we also, once we finalize our target audience, okay, this is a set of people we want to reach out to, then the product should also be customized as per that. So the product, the target audience, the media, they all need to be married together.
Yeah. So once you have known that, okay, this is my target audience, then also the target audience shifts. So if you're going to the South Asian region, if you're targeting the African region, or if you're targeting the American region, that completely changes. For example, in South Asian part, we generally tend to be more emotional, or we generally tend to be more sensitive. And specifically when it comes to education, it is a very, very sensitive and a very powerful path for each and every student, and along with that, their parents as well, when they're choosing any kind of course and university, because that is going to be a deciding factor for the rest of their life and for the rest of the success, whether they'll get it or not. So how do universities choose or understand the target audience according to different spheres that they are targeting?
Yeah, absolutely. Mahima, I think the emotional connect is very important. And since it is the question of their career, and people are actually very serious about what they're going to get into in their lives, because this is going to decide their destiny going forward. I also believe that, university's core domain is to, provide a top-notch experience, academic experience, learning experience to their students. And because marketing is a specialized field, and this is usually left to the experts, because they better know the nuances of promoting a university out there. So I think it should be left to marketing and how to bridge that emotional connect and the gap which is there, because universities have a lot of content which they're not able to leverage in a better way. So marketing comes into play at that time, and then they can use that content, those strategies to build that emotional connect, depending upon which part the student is from, around the world.
So I think very rightly you pointed out that content part. And in a lot of our conversation, you always tell me that the same key cannot be used for all the locks, which says that we cannot have the same marketing strategy for each university. And like you mentioned earlier, if it is an engineering school, they should go for LinkedIn. If it is a creative part, then they should go to Instagram. So again, it all comes down to that. So do you think that content is actually the most important aspect of marketing?
Of course. Content is one of the key things. See, I have been talking about different pillars till now. So content is another thing which we should be content with. So what worked yesterday may not work today for the same campaign on the product. See, content is the most important thing, and it is actually the king of every marketing collateral or communication. And I think people need to start thinking that it's not only about the text or the lines that you're writing in there, but it is also about the music that you choose for your video, the graphics, the images, the transitions during the content, the pauses that you give. So all this, goes and, create a type of content which you want to put on a particular channel. Then comes the consumption patterns of certain kind of content. If you want to, just have a little bit of entertainment, you can just go on Instagram and Facebook and keep scrolling the content, And if you want to have a detailed or serious kind of content, you can do it in the form of vlogs.
Like you mentioned about reels. So the target audience for universities are youngsters. And as being a millennial myself, I know that our attention span is extremely small. So we always want to get the information within maybe 3 to 4 seconds. And according to data and numbers, we see that that is the attention span for all the students, whether they are from 18 to 25 or 30 years of age. So how do you suggest that within this short period of time, how can universities get the maximum attention from their students? And of course, then also tell them what their services are. How can they do that?
I think, yes, today's generation is, they get bored and distracted very fast. And then the attention span is very less. They just want to, flip things, just keep scrolling and do not want to, stick to one particular piece. So I think here, Reels would play an important role. The short videos and shorts would play an important role to catch there. Everybody wants to see the action happening, the movement happening. Nobody likes still things in life. So I think video with the combination of some peppy music, and of course the text has to be making sense to them.
So the music that you mentioned, the peppy one, whenever I'm now creating reels, I always try to go and see which is the trending music that I can create a reel on.
That is a great point, actually. You need to capture the trend, be part of the trend,
Yeah. And then being a part of the trend and still not losing the focus and what exactly we want to communicate, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So another question that is, and which is very important, is that as I was discussing, there are so many strategies, there are so many content, so many methods. So how do we know, or how does a university know that which strategy is working for them or which strategy is not working for them? So how does analysis or data or numbers, how do they come into play?
Absolutely. So, like whenever any marketing activity is done, so we always think about the impact and the outcome, what it is going to make, and at the end of the day, where are we going to be? So I think marketing automation tools and the analytics are the things there, are the platforms there, which universities or any advertisers should, invest in. And again, there is a question of like, what marketing automation tool they should invest in, what lead management system they should go for, which system can give them the exact performance matrix, which system can give them the, emailers, open and click rates. So this is also a very strategical, decision. And again, marketing experts come into the picture, suggesting based on the past experience and the kind of product which we are going to advertise for.
Yeah. And how do universities choose the right marketing expert for themselves? Because there are so many experts in the industry. But then how do they choose that, okay, this is the right marketing person for my business?
This is a very good and relevant question. I think most of the people want to understand actually which is the marketing agency or the person or the consultant for them. I think there are 3 things which they should consider, while choosing their marketing experts. First is understand their core. What are they good at? Can they get you good numbers or leads, the clicks, the impressions, or they are more of a creative agency? Are they a performance agency? Second is they should be in a position to understand your product and program well and resonate it well with the target audience. So when these agencies or these marketing partners, when they come for making pitches to you, so that is the time for you to judge their strengths and what is their core and how they can effectively contribute to your existing system. Then the third is and the organization as a whole.
There are so many new universities that are coming up and they have these courses that, students have never heard about them before. So how do they stand in this competitive market where legacy colleges have already created a name for themselves?
For those kind of universities who are new to the market, who are the late entrants, they should focus on creating the brand awareness first and also should identify the USPs, the niche about their programs, which they can highlight, which no other university is offering, although that may be difficult in the initial stages, but with time, when you create the brand awareness on different platforms organically and through paid media, so you will get there someday.
Yeah. So with paid media, like you mentioned, this is something that has always been an enigma for me. I am still trying to understand that. So paid media is sometimes it is a blessing, but sometimes marketing or universities, they don't really get the right benefits from them. So how does paid media and then analytics and the result of all these campaigns, how do that come into play and how do that benefit universities?
So yeah, you rightly said paid media is enigmatic. It is a little mysterious and everybody still gets attracted to that. And they really want to, have quick results through paid media. But one should understand that, in paid media, the keywords play a very important role. It cannot be the case that you advertise a very premium bag at the, door of the shop. And then when somebody enters the shop, you're just selling ordinary bags. So that's where you end up getting the drop-off rates from the website and from your landing pages. So you need to be having consistency of the communication that you're putting on the ads. And once the person clicks on the ads and then go to the landing page, it should be the similar thing. The house should not be different from inside what it looked outside. And the form should be responsive enough and very easy, for the person to fill.
That's a very correct point. Again, whenever we actually have marketing campaigns, we make sure that the click rate is extremely easy. They go to the page very quickly and they can understand whatever they want to in maybe 2 or 3 seconds at max. So my next question is something that I'm really excited to ask you. In your 16 years of experience, there are so many new things that you have seen in marketing. So can you tell me what is that one thing that really has excited you and you think is going to be the future of marketing?
So I think technology excites everyone almost, and I think it's artificial intelligence.
Okay.
It is a futuristic thing, and people are using AI. Universities, companies, they are using AI. It is important for the universities or the companies for that matter to understand the extent to which they want to make use of the AI. It is a blessing in disguise, and we cannot be ignorant of this technology. So we should be able to take advantage of it by optimizing our campaigns, the user journey, and of course our content.
All right, so we have come to a very exciting segment of our podcast, and that is the trivia segment. So Sakshi, I'm going to ask you some of the taglines of the following companies. Are you ready? Yeah. All right. So these are going to be very common and I hope that you know it. So first would be Nike.
Just do it.
Yes. And L'Oreal.
You worth it.
Yes. And Las Vegas.
What happens here remains here.
Yes. Yes. What happens here stays here. And Apple.
Think different. Yes. That's my favorite.
Yeah. And MetaApply.
So simplifying global education. This I can't forget.
Yes. All right. So in the next segment, we're going to twist it. I am going to tell you the taglines and you have to tell me the company's name. So the first one is impossible is nothing.
Adidas.
Yes. Okay. Second, the happiest place on earth.
Disney.
I really want to go there one day. All right. Eat fresh.
Subway.
I never get an order right over there. Don't leave home without it.
Of course, American Express.
Yes. Ultimate driving machine.
BMW.
Yes. And see what's next.
Netflix.
Netflix and chill. Yeah. You really know all your marketing and all these taglines.
These brands are really good, I tell you. Like they have taken such communication that they've ingrained so well in their customers' mind.
All right. So coming back to the marketing section, I want to talk about a little about what we are doing at MetaApply and what are the new marketing strategies that we are including to promote our university partners or to promote the new strategies or new what's coming in the latest updates about study abroad industry.
At MetaApply, our strategy is to go for a 360-degree marketing approach. which comprises of, right from starting with conceptualization, establishing the brand identity, to creating and developing interactive websites, to building performance campaigns, then writing creative content for our social media, podcast, YouTube, and there's a lot more to marketing. So it depends upon our university partner needs, in which stage they are in, whether they are at the brand awareness stage or whether, they are at the stage when they're just waiting for the admissions to happen.
Thank you so much for giving your time. I know that you're extremely busy, but I'm sure that all these things, whether it is automation, AI, performance marketing, and content, these things are going to help our universities to understand what they need to do to reach their target audience.
Right, Mahima. It's just that, marketing wants to be an important part of the university branding and marketing activities. All this effort is, being made so that the university can focus on their core, which is none other than academic excellence.
Yeah, and we hope that all the students do get the right university and their perfect match. Thank you so much for watching this show. And we hope that you've learned a lot from this one about the marketing strategies, about the new things that have come up into the industry. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to stay connected with the latest news and updates in the study abroad industry. I will see you next time. Signing off.